The Silver Nemesis, the final classic story featuring the Cybermen. And if you're a major Doctor Who fan or just really sad and know your context about the classic Cybermen and the new series Cybermen, then you know for over 22 years this would be the final TV adventure seeing the Cybermen that originated from Mondas, as the new series mainly focuses upon the parallel Cybermen, probably to make the Cybermen's backstory a little bit more simpler for the new audience. In Peter Capaldi's final outing as the Doctor, we get to see the genesis of the Cybermen that originated from Mondas, and the most recent TV redesigns of the Cybermen appeared alongside the Mondasian Cybermen in the story, meaning that they're only about a generation or two away from the original 10th planet design, meaning that the Silver Nemesis Cybermen have so far been the most highly evolved Cybermen we've seen yet. And I'm pretty sure everything I've just said, there's probably a book or audio play out there that goes into the nitty-gritty detail of cyber evolution, probably contradicting with everything I've just said. Anyway, growing up being a Doctor Who fan in the late 2000s, the Silver Nemesis was our last glimpse of the Cybermen that originated from Mondas. So when they released the figurine sets of the design from the story, I would often imagine battles between the parallel Cybermen and the original Cybermen, eagerly awaiting their reprisal in the new series. The set initially came with two Cybermen, a plain Cyberman and the Cyber Leader. They were near and dear to my heart, those two figures. I really liked them, and they would often be my choices for playtime. Upon finding out that BMM was going to re-release the figurines, I was really excited, as I yearned for more Cybermen, as I felt like that my two Cybermen wasn't enough of an army, let's say. Knowing how hard it's been for many Doctor Who fans to pick their hands up on some BMM sets, I just want to say, don't worry, the store I went to, there was plenty of those sets left. I picked up 3 sets, each costing about £20 each, and doing the maths, each figure roughly cost about £6.50, an absolute bargain considering that many of these figures can be sold £10 more on the second-hand market. I also additionally got 3 Sylvester McCoys. I'll probably customise them at some point, but here's a very quick review if any of you are interested. Articulation, he's got 360s at the wrist, arms, waist, and probably head. Oh, and it's removable as well. Oh, and he bends at the elbows and knees as well. He can do the splits, walk in and out, and he's got the swivel thing on his leg, whatever it's called. A pretty nice Doctor Who figure to have. He is lacking on the paint details with his hanky compared to his predecessors, but then that might be down to the backing cost, as these BMM sets are supposed to be budgeted sets to produce, and it's only a small detail, so I'll let that one slide. The question mark umbrella would have been quite nice to have. But next time, character, the toy company that produces all these action figures, please give us the serious face hatted 7th Doctor, just so we can stop brutally cutting up our 7th Doctor's heads for when it comes to making customs. Anyway, let's talk about the main baddies of the box set, the Cybermen. As for articulation, they can just do a 360-degree rotation on their arms. Their arms can swivel as well, they bend at the elbows, their wrists can fully rotate, their head can't move, but the waist can. He can do the splits, sit down, rotate at the leg, and bend at the knees. Now if you've seen Silver Nemesis, you know that the Cybermen in that story have that shiny reflective shine. But the toys don't reflect this. The reason why they haven't been chromed to give that shiny look is because of that PVC plastic that they use. It wouldn't apply that well, and it would flake off. But they have tried to just make them as shiny as possible, and I think they still look quite nice. By giving the undersuit a weathered look, it helps the helmets to stand out a little bit more better, and really make them seem extra shiny. I like that they painted up the eyes black. It's small, but it just helps to define the eyes from the sculpt. Also, the very thing I can remember from the 80s Cybermen is that you could just see their chin, which made you wonder how much of the human face was still left underneath those helmets. It's been nicely represented through the figure. He's got some inner detail workings within his circuitry on his chest unit. Unlike the 7th Doctor, the Cybermen do come with an accessory, their blaster. You can fit the tip of the gun into either hand, and using a spare arm to hold the other end, you can make it look like he's holding both ends. It is a bit hard trying to pose the Cybermen to aim his gun. Collecting 3 of these sets, I had an excess amount of Cyber Leaders. I only really wanted one, so I had to customise the rest of my Cyber Leaders, painting their horns a silver colour, which isn't a difficult task at all. For my first bit of toy art, with my new Cyber Army, I went off to Blue Anchor, personally one of my favourite beaches to go to, mainly how diverse it is in terms of its setup, with lifeless trees and derelict structures, the latter of which I thought would make a grand backdrop for the ice tombs of Telos, the Cybermen's second home world. Of course, being a windy day on that beach, the wind wasn't very cooperative for when it came to standing up the Cybermen. I tried burying them into the sand best I could, but it wasn't always perfect. But yet again, they just stand long enough for me to take my photographs. And with just a little bit of computer editing, we can really make those Cybermen shine and pop off the screen. I did contemplate on editing the pictures, making them seem more drab and moody, like how Telos was seen in Attack of the Cybermen. But since these Cybermen were from Silver Nemesis, the Cybermen were mainly out in broad daylight, looking really shiny and reflective. I really wanted to replicate that. But reflecting on the pictures, I didn't feel like that the pictures were that dramatic enough for an army. So a couple of days went by and I went off to some shrouded woods, to not only make the pictures more dark and moody, but also to photograph the Cybermen in some explosive actions, just as if they were in a battle. Admittedly, the 7th Doctor set of this year's BMM range isn't the most exciting as the more or less re-releases of previous existing figures, but there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's quite nice just to have an ordinary box set to have. It gives people a chance who missed out on the first release to pick up the figures, and it gives people like me a chance to army build our figures. I can understand if you were disappointed with Sylvester McCoy, but for me, all I really wanted was just the Cybermen, and I think they're definitely a heck of a lot better than the original release. So I got my money worth out of the set. If you'd like to have a greater look at many of the toy art pictures that were featured in this video, including various others, then please follow me on social media. Also, if you really enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this, then subscribing to the channel would be very much appreciated. Also, here's some video links of similar type of videos I've made to this one, if you'd like to check them out.